provide something else I clicked, I think. But yeah, please go ahead.
গোপীনাথ চরণে কইল বহু নমস্কার, প্রেমাবেশে নিত্য গীত করিলা অপার।
Translation. When Madhvendra Puri reached the temple of Gopinath, he offered his respectful obeisances many times at the lotus feet of the Lord. In the ecstasy of love, he began to dance and sing without cessation. Verse number 156.
Prabhuji, bit lower a bit. Prabhuji, please lower a bit. Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah. পুরী দেখি সেবক সব সম্মান করিল, ক্ষীরপ্রসাদ দিয়ে তারে ভিক্ষা করাইল।
When the priest of Gopinath saw Madhvendra Puri again, he offered all respects to him, and giving him the sweet rice prasadam, made him eat.
এই রাত্রে দেবালয়ে করিল শয়ন, শেষ রাত্রি হইলে পুরী দেখিল স্বপন।
Madhvendra Puri took rest that night in the temple, but toward the end of the night, he had another dream.
গোপাল আসিয়া কহে, শুনো হে মাধব, কর্পূর চন্দন আমি পাইলাম সব।
Madhvendra Puri dreamed that Gopal came before him and said, "O Madhvendra Puri, I have already received all the sandalwood and camphor." Haribo.
কর্পূর সহিত ঘষি এসব চন্দন, গোপীনাথের অঙ্গে নিত্য করহ লেপন।
Now just grind all the sandalwood together with the camphor and then smear the pulp on the body of Gopinath daily until it is finished.
গোপীনাথ আমার সে একই অঙ্গ হয়, ইহাকে চন্দন দিলে হবে মোর তাপক্ষয়।
There is no difference between my body and Gopinath's body. They are one and the same. Therefore, if you smear the sandalwood pulp on the body of Gopinath, you will naturally also smear it on my body. Thus, the temperature of my body will be reduced. You also have purport for this verse. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gopal was situated in Vrindavan, which was far from Ramuna. In those days, one had to pass through provinces governed by the Muslims, who sometimes hindered travelers. Considering the trouble of his devotee, Lord Gopal, the greatest well-wisher of his devotees, ordered Madhvendra Puri to smear the sandalwood pulp on the body of Gopinath, which was non-different from the body of Gopal. In this way, the Lord relieved Madhvendra Puri from trouble and inconvenience. Hare Krishna. Om Agyantimirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavascha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijan Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So we'll read the translation once again. There is no difference between my body and Gopinath's body. They are one and the same. Therefore, if you smear the sandalwood pulp on the body of Gopinath, you will naturally also smear it on my body. Thus, the temperature of my body will be reduced. So, just to recap, the Supreme Lord, Bhagwan Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, himself is narrating this pastime to the devotees. How sweet. He himself is narrating the pastime and relishing it. And he's narrating this pastime as he heard from his spiritual master, Srila Ishwar Puri. So this is a teaching for us. This is what sincere devotees do. When they get together, Matchid Matgata Prana Bodhyanti Parasparam. When they get together, they will talk about the topics of Krishna Katha, Sri Chaitanya Katha, devotional topic, and relish it. So once a devotee told me that one devotee in Mayapur Dham, he was serving His Holiness Niranjan Swami Maharaj. There was some GBC meeting going on, yearly meetings. So this particular devotee who was serving His Holiness Niranjan Swami Maharaj, he was very curious to know what these gurus, they do when they are with each other. So one part is then when they are engaged in the discussion in the meetings, but what they do when they are together during lunch or dinner or free time, break time. In public, we know they will preach, they will give us guidance, services they do. So during the lunch time in that meeting, he tried to peek inside the room, trying to find out what they are talking about during lunchtime. And what he finds that he heard His Holiness Niranjan Swami Maharaj and other gurus, other sannyasis, other senior devotees, they were discussing this pastime of Gopal with Srila Madhya Puri. So, of course, as a part of their service, they had to discuss the management issues. But at the same time, as soon as they get some time, they will discuss these sweet pastimes from Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, to nourish themselves. So just thought of sharing that great teaching, right? Whenever we get free time, we should try to engage our mind, our senses in this topic of Krishna Katha. So we see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is narrating this pastime of Srila Madhya Puri. And Sri Madhya Puri is a very, very special personality, as we all know. In his original Swarup, in his Nitya Mukta Swarup, he is the Kalpa Vriksha, the desire tree in the Golok Vrindavan, under which Sri Radha Sharad Bihari, they perform their pastimes. Think about it. He is the Kalpa Vriksha in Golok Vrindavan Dham, the Divya Dham. And as we all also know, he is the seed of the huge devotional tree, the Bhakti Vriksha of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this material world. And one branch of this tree, of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whose seed is Srila Madhvendra Puri, one branch of this tree is our Srila Prabhupada's ISKCON, to which all of us belong. So just wanted to remind myself of this great connection we have. What a great fortune, right? Just remembering this connection to these divine personalities from Golok Vrindavan, we can just enthuse ourselves. That can bring chills to our heart. That what a great fortune we have got by being connected to this ISKCON, or by being connected to Srila Prabhupada, to this Guru Parampara. With that in our mind, in our heart, that feeling, that being grateful, having a feeling of gratitude to our Guru Parampara. In this particular section of verses, we see that a big service was given to Srila Madhavendra Puri by Gopal. And we can imagine there was no GPS at that time, no internet, no phone, so that all the arrangements can be made in advance, right? Whenever we travel, even for our services, we make sure if we go to India or any other place, that all the arrangements are made for us, right, in advance. Even no transport that time. But Srila Madhavendra Puri never thought twice. Why me? Why he has chosen me for this service? I'm an aging person now. How will I walk that much distance from Vrindavan to Remuna or Odisha, the place where he was supposed to go to collect the sandalwood and camphor that Gopal wanted him to, was not a short distance, very long distance. How would I carry so much load? He never thought about it. I'm a Madhavendra Puri. Why should I go? I can send somebody else, right? But our acharyas explain the biggest sacrifice is of our false ego and pride. And Srila Madhavendra Puri is showing us through this pastime. We also see Gopal put his pure devotees into even bigger tests. Why? Just to magnify the sense of duty, the sense of their devotional service. In Srimad Bhagavatam, we see gopis were put to that test. Shri Prahlad Maharaj was also put to similar test. So the more advanced the devotee is, the more pure the devotee is, they are put to greater tests. Our Srila Prabhupada's example is so close to our heart. We know how many tests, how many challenges he went through. We also see that how to accept a service like Srila Madhavendra Puri accepted. Every day I'm chanting, right? We all are chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Basically, we are asking for services when we chant. Please engage me. Hey, Shri Shri Radha Sharad Bihari, please engage me in your service. So when service comes, there should not be any excuse. And how Krishna will send services to us? Of course, in this case, he himself is ordering Sri Madhavendra Puri. But practically in our case, the services will come through devotees. And we also see, if we accept that seva, that service, and our attitude is good, then Krishna will not only give us more services, but will also empower us to complete that service, no matter how big the service is. So in this chapter, we see how Gopal is reciprocating with Sri Madhavendra Puri again and again by giving him direct instructions. In Bhagavad Gita, we see this verse, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam stathe bhajami aham. So as per our desire to serve Sri Krishna, the more the connection we make with him, Krishna will reciprocate with us. This pastime is a very clear proof to that. So far we see Srila Madhavendra Puri has been able to arrange for the sandalwood and camphor, and also he got some helpers. on the way back to Shri Vrindavan Dham. And anything more he needed to pass through without much hassle, like releasing papers or anything, any approvals, he also got all that. So now, after traveling for a few days, he has reached Sri Gopinath temple in Ramuna again. Actually, in his heart, he wanted to take darshan of his dear Gopinath again, because Gopinath stole Amrit Keli, that kheer, special prasad for his dear devotee. So when that pastime of Khirishor Gopal happened, Shri Madhavendra Puri just went ahead because he didn't want to get glorified or worshipped by other people there, right? So he just left the place. He didn't get a chance to come back to the temple and offer his gratitude to Gopinath. But now, while on the way back, he got that opportunity. Now he is remembering, while taking the darshan of Gopinath, how he stole that pot of kheer, Amrit Keli, for him. And thinking about that pastime, he got into complete ecstasy and started singing and dancing. This time, the same priest, when he saw him, he proactively gave that kheer prasad again to Srila Madhavendra Puri. The priest still remembered how Gopinath came into his dream and ordered him to give that stolen pot of kheer to Madhavendra Puri. So most likely the priest didn't want Gopinath ji to again wake him up in the middle of the night, make him go look for Sri Madhavendra Puri. Or maybe, yell at him. Don't you still remember? Right? In short, he proactively gave the prasad. But in the right sense, priest knew how great Srila Madhavendra Puri as a devotee is, with whom Shri Gopinath ji was directly reciprocating. So one point that I thought here is that I can share, and if anyone has any more comments or realizations, all of you are most welcome to share also. Every day we are eating this Krishna Prasadam. Whenever we get Krishna Prasadam, it means Krishna is reciprocating with us. Maybe I am so used to that eating prasadam, I'm eating it very, very casually. I'm not even thinking about the meaning of prasad, which is mercy, right? So every day, multiple times, Krishna is reciprocating with us by giving us prasadam. So what it means, now we should reciprocate with him even more.
It's true.
So much mercy we get every day, at least 3 times. If I talk about myself, at least 3 times I eat that prasad. So our acharyas also indicate we should become a pet animal of Krishna, because he's maintaining us. He's nourishing us with so much mercy every day. In Hindi, they say, मैंने आपके घर का नमक खाया है, right? Meaning, I've eaten your food, so I will be ever grateful to you. People say that.
It's true.
So much divine Krishna Prasadam we are eating when we are even at home, offering bhoga to our home deities or in the temples. So we should be ever, ever grateful to Shri Krishna. And how can we show that gratefulness? By serving, by engaging or by using that energy that we are getting from that prasadam even more for the seva. So I'm reminding myself of this. So when that thought came, it was so beautiful, right? How we can be Krishna conscious just by thinking about the prasadam. So, and we also read in the couple of verses previous, Srila Madhvendra Puri takes rest in the temple now, in this Gopinath temple. Now again he gets the dream from his worshipable deity, from Gopal, life from Vrindavan Dham, from Govardhan. Now Gopal is saying, surrendering everything to me, it's so much trouble you are taking, risking your life, because it was definitely not an easy travel. They were dacoits, they were Muslim rulers. There was actually, Srila Madhvendra Puri risked his life for this seva. So you're risking your life for my pleasure. But actually I am non-different from Gopinath. So all the chandan, all the camphor you have collected, use it for the whole summer season to place or to use it on the body of Gopinath. And I will be cool in Vrindavan only. When you will serve Gopinath like that, that seva will also be accepted by me in Vrindavan, because we are the one and the same. So this is a very loving, there is very loving expression of one deity with another deity. Now one might think in this case, oh, you gave me such a hard service, and now when I am all successful in my service, that pride might come, right? For a person like me, that pride might come. I'm successful now, you saying, just be there, use everything there. But Srila Madhvendra Puri is not even thinking like that. So the mood of the advanced devotee is, whatever pleases my master, my Krishna, my Gurudev, I will do that. That is another indication of one of the teaching that I think we can get from here, that whatever is pleasurable to Krishna. Completion of the service is good, but if Krishna doesn't want, if he wants to see that getting completed in some another form, so it be, right? We should not, sometimes that pride in our seva might come, oh, I've done such a big seva. So that subtle pride might come. But this is a great understanding here that no, seva is what pleases Krishna, what pleases Sri Gurudev. So the mood when serving Krishna and devotees should be, it's not about me, it's about you. So when we serve Krishna or Krishna's devotees, we should take our eye in the back seat. So one verse that comes, Atmendriya Priti Vancha Tare Balikam Krishnendriya Priti Iksha Dhare Premanam. So when we desire to gratify our senses, it is calm, lust. But the desire to please the senses of Krishna is prem. Simple definition of prem, or simple distinction between what is lust and what is love. So anything we desire to please the senses of Krishna, it is prem. Sarva Lok Maheshwaram, Krishna says. He is the master of whole creation. Whatever he has created is and should be for his enjoyment. And we, as part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, we can be happy only when we please him, when we serve him. So anything we do, we should ask that question to ourselves. Will it please Shri Krishna? Will it please Radharani? Will it please my Guru? Will it please the devotees? So that's a checklist. And we all are intelligent enough to get those answers, and based on that, we can act. I was reading Srila Prabhupada's Leela Amrit in volume 1 that it comes, when Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was giving the class in Vrindavan, when Srila Prabhupada goes there to meet him for the second time, one of the point Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur mentions, no one can create any obstruction in the enjoyment of Krishna. No one can create any obstruction. Meaning, if there is a service for Krishna, it might be a challenging service, a big service. But if Krishna wants that service to be completed, and if we surrender to Krishna to accept that service, he will help us by making all the arrangements. Because he wants to enjoy that service. Nothing can be an obstruction. Actually, when we talk about this topic, this is the sign of pure love. Two main signs are there to know if our love for somebody is pure or for Krishna is pure. Number one, are our desires aligned with Krishna's desires? When Bhagwan's desire becomes our desire, like Arjuna, right? He didn't want to fight, but then he accepted Krishna's desire because Krishna wanted the war of Mahabharata, Kurukshetra, right? But he accepted the proposal and he aligned his desires with Krishna's desires. So another simple example we can think is, especially all of us who come from India, they can relate to it, that if someone wants to come from India to USA, even if parents are not comfortable or they are not in agreement, but when they see that my child wants to go to USA for study or job, whatever, out of love, they will sacrifice and agree to child's desire. They will somehow arrange the money, will also pray, although they don't want themselves, but they will pray that may my child's desire get fulfilled. That is praying. Kind of little gross example, but maybe we can relate to it better. And what is Krishna's desire? When we say we have to align to Krishna's desire, if we really love him, his main desire is to deliver all living entities, to relieve them of all the suffering from this cycle of birth and death. And that's why Srila Prabhupada says preaching is the essence. So it is our service to show love to Krishna, to try to reach out to as many living entities as possible and bring them back to Krishna. So that's the first sign of love, aligning our desires to Krishna's desires. Second, just like we are seeing in this pastime of Srila Madhvendra Puri also, be ready to sacrifice everything, including our life, without hesitation. I will repeat. Ready to sacrifice everything, including our life, without hesitation. Just like Srila Prabhupada at the old age of 70, he traveled to West for us. So much hardship to serve the mission of Lord. He went through heart attacks multiple times. So much discomfort. But when there is prem, pure love, one is ready to do anything. He can take any risk. Any risk for Krishna. So the more one loves Krishna, the more one will be willing to take the risk. For outsiders, it might look like a risk, right? But for that person, he's so much filled with love. Just like a mother, she can do anything for the child. Not even thinking it is a risk. There is some difficulty naturally, spontaneously, right? The pure devotees, they take big risks. So one level, practically we think is we chant our rounds, we execute our assigned services. But another level could be, we are suddenly called out for some service, important service. Now that may need to take us off from work or business accept some loss in that form, that is taking some risk in practical terms. That will show our increased love for Krishna. Now, we cannot force it on ourselves. Otherwise, it will create distress for ourselves and the people around us. It should come naturally, spontaneously. Like if there is an emergency in the family, no matter what, some emergency with our parents or spouse or kids, we will leave everything wherever we are, right? And we will take care of that emergency naturally because we have spontaneous, natural love for them. So that's the kind of love we should develop for Krishna. It will all depend on our attitude, our internal desires, and degree of our connection with Krishna. My Gurudev always says, desire to desire right. So that's another desire, that we should desire right. That could be our prayer. That please help me in desiring right so that I can serve Krishna in the right mood. So here we see some loving exchange between two deities. Shri Gopal from Govardhan is asking Srila Madhvendra Puri to serve Shri Gopinath with all that sandalwood and camphor. So sometimes deities perform this kind of leela, loving leela between each other, and sometimes they also perform something which Prabhupada used to call as Prem Kalaha. Prem Kalaha means loving sweet quarrel with each other. During one of the Mayapur Dham Yatra in 2018, in the famous Rajpur Jagannath temple. There is a Rajpur Jagannath temple near Mayapur. And by the way, this Rajpur Jagannath temple is considered as non-different from our Jagannath Puri temple. So in that yatra, His Grace Pankajagri Prabhu, he told this wonderful pastime to devotees. He said, he was narrating this pastime, that once a devotee brought a Govardhan Shila, Giriraj Shila, from Govardhan, and so they kept it here on the altar with Sri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra at the Rajpura Jagannath temple. After a few days, there was an Anukut festival. After that festival, that night, Lord Jagannath came in the dream of the Pujari, the main Pujari. And he started complaining in the dream. What he said? Ever since you have got this Govardhan here, we have been having a hard time. He's really greedy. Jagannath is talking about Govardhan. He takes all the prasadam. He doesn't even wait for the Pujari to finish his mantras. He's not even waiting until the Bhoga offering mantra is finished. As soon as the Pujari brings the offering in the plate, he takes it and he takes it all. All the sweets first. He will eat all the sweets first. You have to do something. We are not happy about it. Now, Krishna complaining about Krishna. What can priest do? So the priest shared that dream with other devotees, his other sevaks in the temple, and they contacted His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj and asked for the solution. So Maharaj said, okay, from now onwards, make a separate plate for Govardhan. So since then, Govardhan is offered his own plate there. And when it is offered, Pujari also pray, please eat from only your plate. So His Grace Pankajagri Prabhu says, since then there is peace in the house. So this was a great example of Prem Kala, right? The loving quarrel between two deities. So there are some pastimes like that. So we see Krishna will reciprocate with us based on level of our purity and sincerity. So maybe we can read few more verses. Narsingh Prahlad Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. lower down.
Sorry, 61. Yeah.
দ্বিধা না ভাবিব, না করিহ কিছু মনে, বিশ্বাস করি চন্দন দেহ আমারও বচনে।
You should not hesitate to act according to my order. Believing in me, just do what is needed.
এত বলি গোপাল গেল, গোসাই জাগিলা, গোপীনাথের সেবকগণে ডাকিয়া আনিলা।
After giving these instructions, Gopal disappeared, and Madhvendra Puri awoke. He immediately called for all the servants of Gopinath, and they came before him. So right away, Sri Madhvendra Puri, he started acting on the instructions of Gopal.
প্রভুর প্রভুর প্রভুজি লোয়ারে প্লিজ। প্রভুর আজ্ঞা হইল এই কর্পূর চন্দন, গোপীনাথের অঙ্গে নিত্য করহ লেপন।
Madhavendra Puri said, smear the body of Gopinath with this camphor and sandalwood I have brought for Gopal in Vrindavan. Do this regularly every day. So at this point, any devotees would like to add anything or correct anything or comment before we proceed? Okay. Go ahead,
ইহাকে
Prabhu.
ইহাকে চন্দন দিলে গোপাল হইবে শীতল, স্বতন্ত্র ঈশ্বর তাঁর আজ্ঞা সে প্রবল।
Swatantra Ishwara, right? If the sandalwood pulp is smeared over the body of Gopinath, then Gopal will be cooled. After all, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is completely independent. His order is all powerful. So there is no difference between the deities, right? That is the indication here. Sometimes some devotees ask, oh, Sunday we go to temple, what to do with our home deities? We miss the Aarti. But as per the instructions of our Gurujans, when we are serving the Vigraha in temple, the service is also accepted by our home deities. So we should follow the instructions of our Gurujans in that case. So no difference in the deities.
গ্রীষ্মকালে গোপীনাথ পরিবে চন্দন, শুনি আনন্দিত হইল সেবকের মন।
The servants of Gopinath became very pleased to hear that in the summer, all the sandalwood pulp would be used to anoint the body of Gopinath.
পুরী কহে এই দুই ঘষিবে চন্দন, আর জনা দুই দেহ দিব যে বেতন।
Madhavendra Puri said, these two assistants will regularly grind the sandalwood, and you should also get 2 other people to help. I shall pay their salaries. So clear instructions are being given by the Acharya, who will do what.
এই মতো চন্দন দেয় প্রত্যহ ঘষিয়া, পরায় সেবক সব আনন্দ করিয়া।
Yeah, Ananda. In this way, Gopinath ji was supplied ground sandalwood pulp daily. The servants of Gopinath were very pleased with this. So this was the start of Chandan Yatra, right? We all know in the summer for 21 days, Chandan Yatra festival is celebrated, especially in India. In the summer season, the body of Radha Krishna or Srinath ji or God Nitai, many devotees get this seva to grind sandalwood in the temples, and then that sandalwood is smeared on the body of the deities to give them the cooling effect. So many devotees get engagement, devotional service engagement with this.
প্রত্যহ চন্দন পরায় যাবৎ হইল অন্ত, তথায় রইল পুরী তাবৎ পর্যন্ত।
In this way, the sandalwood pulp was smeared over the body of Gopinath until the whole stock was finished. Madhavendra Puri stayed there until that time. It's not that Madhavendra Puri handed over the seva. He made sure it was done right as per the instructions of Gopal, because he said, use the whole stock in the service of Gopinath. So he made sure the whole stock was used in the service of Gopinath. And until that time, Srila Madhavendra Puri stayed there. So before proceeding further, unless anyone has anything to share or comment, few takeaways that we all can remember or try to apply from what we have studied so far. In devotional service, completion is not important. It is important, but pleasure of Krishna and spiritual master is even more important. Another thing we see here is Gopal is revealing himself, his desires to Srila Madhavendra Puri again and again. How come? Because of his sincerity and purity. Meaning, as we will advance and purify ourselves more and more, we will also get these realizations through our Gurudev, or maybe direct through Krishna. And also we should be like that priest at Gopinath temple and other devotees in Ramuna and earlier in the Vrindavan, who has natural tendency to serve Shri Krishna and his devotees. As soon as the opportunity came, these devotees, that priest, they were ready to serve. No excuses, not that I am busy or whatever, right? And we also see how Srila Madhavendra Puri engaged so many devotees. So Krishna is even more pleased when we work with other devotees to serve him, when we also engage other devotees in the service, cooperation. And in this whole beautiful pastime, we see Krishna is in the center, Gopal is in the center, or we can say service to Krishna is in the center. That is Vrindavan consciousness. I'm sure all of us would like to go to Golok Vrindavan, and we are being told for that we have to develop that consciousness. So that is Vrindavan consciousness, keeping service to Krishna in the center. Always try to absorb our consciousness in Krishna and his devotees. If we accept the desire of a devotee or devotees as our life and soul, and within that boundary of that desire of the devotee, of that pure devotee, if we accept the desire of a pure devotee, which is for us, which should be Krishna's desire, and if we keep our desires also within the boundary of the desire of the pure devotee or Krishna, what this means, then it will be possible for us to get the glimpse of Vrindavan Dham. Krishna will give us his sweet remembrance. That's the formula. Mattaha smritir jnanam apohanam cha, Bhagavad Gita says. Another thing we see here is ecstasies of a devotee can be seen when he or her are serving, performing their devotional services. Like we can experience the ecstasies of Srila Prabhupada through his books. His chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, when we hear to his recording of Mahamantra or bhajans, we can see Srila Prabhupada's ecstasies in our ISKCON temples, with grand, beautiful services going on. So, ecstasies of a devotee can be seen in his or her devotional services. Also, when we read and hear about these pastimes where Krishna is reciprocating openly with pure devotees, that also gives us a peak view of how it will be like in spiritual world, in Golok Vrindavan, where it's just bliss. Services are going on, just bliss and anand. And it is continuously increasing. And these pastimes, when we read and hear in the association of devotees, they are like Amrit Keli, this prasad, sweet prasad of Gopinath. When we discussed and hear these sweet pastimes in the association of sincere devotees, it becomes like a Amrit Keli prasad for us. It will also come in the future verses that Anand Badila Mane Dukh Na Ganila. For Madhvendra Puri, Srila Madhvendra Puri, although it was a great trouble and so much labor to do this service, he was still very pleased. He discounted all the difficulties. Anand Badila Mane, in his mind, in his heart, only thing that was increasing was Anand. Dukh Na Ganila. He was not counting any pain or any hard labor that he had to go through. He was not even feeling like that. So when we constantly hear these pastimes, Hari Katha, Chaitanya Katha, it transforms our heart from a stone-like heart to a sponge. Like a sponge can absorb water, right? So when our heart transforms from stone-like to sponge-like, then we can absorb the teachings from these pastimes, the instructions from pastimes, and we can also hold the realizations, right? So few takeaways I wanted to share that I thought are for me. So anyone would like to add anything to that? Please feel free to unmute yourself. Hare Krishna. Anything?
Hare Krishna,
Yeah.
dear Krishna Prabhu.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. I just wanted to really appreciate your class, your speaking to us, and just the clarity of thought on this topic of rendering devotional service. This is very, very pleasing, especially with regards to our service and commitment to serving the deity. It's very nice. I've one just kind of anecdotal realization on your statement about how we may have home deities, but really, if we should see the service to the temple deity as primary, and service to the temple deity will be your home deity will be satisfied. And in this pastime, I never thought of it this way, but this pastime illustrates this very nicely. How Krishna is absolute. He's the supreme. Service in one form is rendering service in the other form, as long as our consciousness is connected in that way. And I remember a long time ago. This is when Ravinda Shri Prabhu was temple president. And there were a lot of devotees living in the temple at that time. And it seemed like all the devotees who were living in the temple, gradually each of them got their own deities. So they were, even though they were in the temple in their rooms, they had their own personal set of deity. And then there's like almost like a competition. Okay, so you felt left out if you didn't have your deity. So I have Gaur-Nitai, another person had Krishna Balaram, then somebody got the Shalagram Shila, then somebody got a Govardhan Shila, then they had a Govardhan Shila. So, oh, you have Govardhan Shila, it's so nice, let me get a Govardhan Shila. Meanwhile, on the altar, none of these there were none of these Shilas or other deities necessarily on the altar, but they were taking place kind of behind the scenes. And I think there was a recognition that the focus was becoming more on people's personal deities than on the main deity. The offerings were being maybe not as opulent. People were, instead of doing temple seva, they were doing more seva for their personal deity. And I remember Ravinda Shripabhu had to make the correction there, like, Shishirada Shardvihari is an installed deity. They at that time, worshipped for 30, 40 years continuously, day in and day out, uninterrupted. 5, 6 offerings a day. Whether somebody's 6, whether somebody is, goes on vacation, none of this stops. And just kind of brought a refocus to the importance of the deity in the temple, and ultimately our service to that deity. All our personal deities become, Krishna will be satisfied, through that seva. Anyway, I had that thought as you were speaking on this pastime, and thought of that connection. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu, for sharing this wonderful point. And yes, in those situations, we have to see what our Gurujan says. And I think we have clear instruction that temple deities are the most important. They are the priority. And as a participating devotee in the temple, we can always, if we are very attached to of course, we are all attached to our home deities. We can also think of them, sort of out about consciousness. As a pujari, whenever I am serving in our Harrisburg temple, automatically on the altar, along with Shri Shri Rai Gaurchandra, Radha Sharad Vihari, we also have Radha Sharad Vihari, home deities there. Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra Mai. Automatically the thought will come to my home deities also. We can think about them at the same time. But what is important, right? That there is a higher purpose when we are in the temple. Thank you for sharing and stressing that point, Prabhu. Actually, this is one of my favorite chapters. So I really thank you all for allowing me to read and share this chapter. There are 2 reasons very, very dear to me, because Srila Prabhupada gave my Guru Ma the name Amrit Keli. So I love that. And also my great-great-grandfather also went through similar experience like Sri Madhavendra Puri, where he got the dream of Sri Hanumanji, and to excavate him from the ground long back. And he did it, and he found that deity there. And he built a temple. Some gold coins were also there. So he used all that money. So kind of I can relate to it very well, that this is not a story or some fantasy. These things are still happening. So anyway, thank you, everyone. I would like to conclude here. If anyone has any final points, please share.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandot Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandot Pranam.
Yeah, it was very nice to hear all of the story about Madhavendra Puri. Prabhu, I wanted to ask you, like, at home, if we have like one deity, but I have like one Gopal, but there is like I have small, medium, and large size. So I have like 4 Gopal in my altar. So I was too addicted. So like I made one offering. Is it okay, Prabhu?
Absolutely, yes. As far as my understanding, yes, this is good. Also, we should keep especially when all of us who are serving in the temple, and we are expected to be, serving in the temple, we should keep our home worship as simple as possible, and serve more in the temple in whatever way we can. That is my understanding, Mataji.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhu,
Thank you, Mataji. Please bless
for
me.
giving a nice class with all the examples and everything.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah, and like you, that one was with Govardhan Shila and then Gopal, they offering the different plates. So it was thrilling, you know. So
Yeah, that made me laugh also. Yeah.
yeah, so a lot of things, you know, you just examples you gave us, and main thing is like Krishna always asks pure devotion with love, like Patram Pushpam Phalam Thoyam. So whatever little you offer, you know, which with love, anybody, you know, anybody comes home or with their kids, if you don't love, they won't take it. Not only it's so we see God in everything like that, and then Krishna is everywhere. We see it everywhere. You can see him. You know, when we drink water, when we eat prasadam, like you said. So this is very important to realize that thing. So sometimes, you know, we're eager to eat it, you know, if we are hungry, in a way, but we won't thank anything to Krishna. Here, you know, in the letter says, if somebody gives you a pencil or something, little bit, and he said, thank you very much. But how come we are not thinking Krishna all the time? We are eating everything from morning till night, sleeping. If we don't get sleep also, that is also Krishna. Everything. So we should think all the time. That's what I felt that way. Thank you very much for a nice, very nice class, Prabhu. Thank you.
Beautiful point, Mataji. First, thank you for summarizing, and please bless me. Whatever I have said, I can also follow. So please pray for me. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for your very nice class. It was really nice to hear from you this past time. So, Madhvendra Puri's devotion toward Krishna was really good example for us to follow. And also, I saw that deities reciprocated. Both the deities reciprocated, and so it
Yeah.
was so nice to hear. And if the deities have God, that means deities are not just deities, but they are personal form actually of God. So thank you very much. It was really nice. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you. So, with your permission, can we conclude here, devotees?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to
Jai.
all the devotees.
Vancha
Jai.
kalpatarubhyascha
Krishna
kripa
Kripasinduve
sindhubhya
Vacha
Vacha
Titanam
Pītānam
Pavanebhyo
Pāvanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
namo
Namo
namah.
Namaha.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
dear Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Have a wonderful Krishna conscious day.
Thank you, Prabhu. So, I'm supposed to end the meeting. Let's see.
We just go to leave, I think, and that